was that, Miss Eves?
Let me talk. Excuse me.
Just sit down.
An open and shut
Building security footage, the neighbors' footage.
or will the judge
I mean, Your Honor, you're an exceptionally bright woman.
show this landlord the door?
All I want to do is see the evidence. I don't want you to tell me how bright I am. Actually, I already know that.
This is Judge Judy. Malik Hanna is suing his former subletter, Isla Eves, for damages to his condo due to vandalism.
Judge, this is case number 62 in the calendar in the matter of Hannah versus Eves. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Hanna, how many rental properties do you have, sir?
Currently, I have 10.
Tell me what kind of properties they are.
Sure. So I have a corporate housing short-term rental company, and they're all in the Hollywood area, some in Long Beach, and I have a professional cleaning crew, I have a check-in service, and I pretty much maintain that in Los Angeles.
Tell me what kind of property, Mr. Hanna, you rented to the defendant.
It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo right in the heart of Hollywood. There's a gym. It's one of those properties that have some great amenities to them. So what it is I have relationships with different property developers and owners of buildings, and they give me the permission to do what I will with them, whether it's short-term leasing or rentals.
So
correct.
Somebody else owns the property.
Correct. However, the lease is under my name.
And you lease a series of properties in the Los Angeles area.
Correct.
Under a corporate name.
Correct.
And in the property that you have that Miss Eves sublet from you,
Correct.
because in effect that was a sublet for a couple of days.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your lease allows you to do leasing for as limited a time as 2 days.
Correct, Your Honor.
In any event, tell me on what dates you rented this particular apartment in Hollywood to the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor. So Miss Eves, I have here on my records that she checked in August 25th and checked out August 27th. She booked via booking.com. Then I have here proof of that reservation if you'd like to see it.
Yes, I would like to see it.
Lie.
Okay, so you rented this for $475 is the room price, and that included cleaning fee.
Correct, Your
Correct, of
Honor.
$95 per stay.
Correct.
Okay.
Which it wasn't
And there
clean
was
when I
supposed to
moved in
be
there.
two. Shh, don't interrupt. That's supposed to include 2 adults and 7 children.
Correct, Your
Correct? Okay. So, Miss Eves, I'd like you to...
The purpose of the rental was I was in town to do a video shoot, and my children were a part of it because I have an entertainment company.
You were going to do an entertainment video.
Yes.
Your children were the subjects of the video?
Yes.
So in addition to you and the children, did you have other people there to shoot
had
the video?
Yes, ma'am. I had other artists
How many?
in video, but they weren't all at the property at the same time.
Well, we're going to go over this slowly.
That's fine.
Miss Eves.
I had 3 camera people.
Did you have an audio person?
Yes, they were part
What
of
do
the
you mean?
3-man crew.
Okay. And was this a music video? Was it to advertise a product? What was it supposed to be?
To advertise a song that I wrote, because I'm a songwriter as well.
And what were the children doing there?
Just acting out like a family scene, sitting at the table.
How old are the children?
9, 11, 4, 17, 16. And then there was one that was another 16-year-old. And then there was a 17-year-old who was one of my music artists.
Were these all your children, or did some of them have their parents there as well?
They were not all my children. The 2 that came from Atlanta were my music artist and his younger brother.
What this case is about, Mr. Hanna, is you or someone in her group caused damage to the property, and you say the damage was in excess of $1,800.
Correct, Your Honor.
So do you have photographs of the damage?
I do, Your Honor. I have a police report. I have a building security footage. I have the neighbors' footage. I have the messages from the property owner and the building manager, and pictures that I could show you right now if you'd like to see.
Okay, with the exception of the messages from the building manager, I would like to see first a police report. And I'd like you, when you get that out, to tell me how you became alerted that there was a problem in the building.
So here's the police report so you can view that. Essentially, I'm not physically on site. And I got a call from the building manager. And I have those messages as well saying, Malik, we have an incident.
Just don't tell me what the message said. Okay. Was that on the 27th?
That was...
What date was that? Because I can't read this police report.
No worries.
It's too light.
Okay, date and time of occurrence is 8/28/20.
Miss Eves, when did you leave the building?
On the 27th, the day that I checked out. I booked it from the 25th. Yes. No, I booked it from the 25th to the 26th, but because it was so disgusting when I moved in there, the lady that I called said that she would give me a free extra day because she had no idea that the unit looked like...
Just a second. You can't... Listen to me. Shh, listen to me. You can't tell me what somebody else told you.
Well, it was
All
the
I
person
asked
on
you
the
was,
lease.
when you left, it doesn't matter. It's still hearsay.
Okay.
Like, he couldn't tell me what the building manager said, even in a text.
True.
Do you understand?
I have the pictures of the
Did you
building.
leave on the 27th or the 28th?
On the 27th, ma'am.
That's not correct,
Okay,
Your
that's
Honor.
even though you... Just a second. That's even though you just told me that you were told that you could have an extra day. You decided not to take the extra day.
Yes, I left on the 28th. I'm sorry about that. Yes, I left on the 28th. I apologize.
Okay. Now, do you have photographs to show me of the apartment, of the vandalism that you claim was committed by Miss Eves or someone in her party?
I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them.
Absolutely. So here is the first footage. This is a footage over here, as you can see, of the elevator. And once again, the damage wasn't done inside the actual unit, but it was done to the actual building. Therefore, obviously, ethically, I'm responsible.
Just a second. Do you have any
additional evidence?
I'd like to see it.
Absolutely.
Just a second.
Sure.
Let's go one at a time. I'd
it.
like to see the evidence that you have that ties the defendant with that damage to the building.
You got it. Can I show you a couple of more pictures before we play the video?
Sure.
Okay. So here's this is the actual front of the building. This is the main door for the entire building. It was completely taken off. You'll see the gentleman who, I don't know if it's her son in the video. As you can see, he does claim it's his mother, and you will hear that on the video as well. And this is the third damage. Whether he punched it or kicked it, it's the elevator button that's kicked in.
Got it.
Yes. Those are...
That's three items of damage.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now we have to connect that. Once you connect that to either the defendant or someone in her party, she's responsible to pay for it.
Absolutely.
You would agree with that, Miss Eves? Just a second. You would agree with that, Miss Eves?
No, because I did
Miss
not...
Eves, follow my question. If Mr. Hanna has proof to show me that clearly is damage to the building, if Mr. Hanna has proof that either you or someone in this group of young people that were there doing this video, you would be responsible.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm not responsible for someone who was not my kid, not in my room, just because we're both black. I, like I said, have an entertainment company. The person who did the damage...
No,
I was in the
listen
shower when all this went on.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even personally know.
It doesn't, just, Miss Eves, it's a legal question. If you brought people into the apartment that you signed a lease for 2 days and stayed an extra day, and one of those people caused damage to the building, whether you were there or not, you're responsible. Just as Mr. Hanna, who wasn't even in the building, is responsible to the building for that damage. That's his legal responsibility because he sublet it to you, and somebody, I shouldn't say, because he hasn't proven it to me, all I'm asking you is, I'm not even asking you, I'm telling you you're responsible. If one of those kids caused damage, there's no question about that. Now I'll see the video.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sleep. They get cars all these. Come on. Oh God, I'm busting. Look at me. Yeah. DS1. Yeah.
Who is that, Miss Eves? Miss Eves, who is that? Who is that?
I don't personally have connection with that person. That is...
Your Honor, can you see the video, please?
Just a second. I just asked you who it was. Stop the video, please.
A music
I just asked you who
stop.
it was.
A music artist. Let me talk. Excuse me.
Justice, sit down.
Oh.
Sit.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor, you're an exceptionally bright woman. I think we can decipher that this is...
No, let's, just a second.
just
Mr.
crazy.
Hanna, I don't want you to tell me how bright I am. Actually, I already know that.
Malik Hanna says his former short-term subletter, Isla Eves, owes for damages to his condo due to vandalism.
Now, I just asked you who it was.
She's acting. She stood up because I was in the shower, and she's a music artist.
No, but did you see the?
She's a music artist, and she knows him.
Did you see the video?
She knows him because she's a music artist. I told you I have an entertainment company.
Miss Eve, are you able to see the video?
I saw it.
Okay. All I asked you is the name of the person who is in that video.
I don't know the person personally. I just said
You've never
that
seen him before.
I've seen
just a
him.
second.
I've seen him at a studio session before.
Okay. Did you see him, Miss Eves, on the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, or the 28th?
I seen him the night of the 27th when he was in the lobby waiting on a ride, he said. The next morning, he came to my door, banging on my door, and I'm like, who's at my door? She answered, my daughter answered the door, and I was in the shower. I said, who the heck is that banging on my door? And she goes, oh, the music artist that was at the studio the other night said that somebody stole his phone. He fell asleep waiting on his ride and missed his lift in the lobby. And the lady,
Miss Eves, what studio?
A recording studio.
Okay. Had he spent any time other than on the 28th at this apartment?
Yes, he did, because he came to somebody's party that was not my party. It was his tenant's party.
Do you have, Mr. Hanna, another apartment in that building?
I do not, Your Honor. It's the only one that I have. And I just want to clarify, also hear the audio footage, which we can play. And I quote, Your Honor, it says, let me take some down and you stay up here. This is the day of her checkout. I'm not going to let the police, excuse my French, with my kids and my family. She actually said that. We can clearly play that footage.
I did.
Very clear.
I did.
This is disrespectful. It is really wrong that you are lying.
I did, and it was in regards to my little small children, because they had no idea.
We have him on video.
I don't
We
care.
have him in
No,
video.
I was
Just a
speaking
second.
of my children.
Mr. Hanna,
I was speaking of my children.
You can speak to the judge.
I was speaking of my children.
Miss Eves, look at me.
I was speaking of my children because it was scaring my kids. So I said, nobody's going to with my kids. That's true, in fact.
Okay. Shh.
I wasn't speaking on the young man who was going off.
Miss Eves, Miss Eves, I want you to pay attention to me. This young man is coming from the apartment that you were renting in this video. He is coming just as... If she's going to speak, put her out. If she's going to speak, put her out. She doesn't listen. Out. Out. If I need her, I'll call her back. My question to you is this young man, is he coming from Mr. Hanna?
First of all, I'm not aware of that because I was in the shower. I was in the shower.
No, but you know what the apartment looks like.
Yes.
Just a second. You know what the apartment looks like.
Okay, replay the video and I'll see.
Good. Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
Sleep. They get called. Say, you know I'm tripping. You my phone. Oh God, I'm busting. Look at me. Yeah, DS1. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. D.ESSE.1. Oh God.
That wasn't my apartment. Excuse me. That's not my apartment. My apartment was on the side. That's not my
That's
apartment.
a blatant lie, Your Honor. That is a blatant lie, and I can prove it.
He was coming from the lady's apartment.
Who are those other two people?
Those other two kids from Atlanta were telling him to just leave the building because my kids were freaking out and it was too much going on.
You can watch the footage
So
right
your
now.
two children, just a second.
Why are you recording me? I didn't do anything.
May
Your
I
Honor,
see that?
you're an exceptionally bright woman. I think we can decipher that this is...
No, let's just a second.
This is just crazy.
Mr. Hanna, I'm glad you came prepared. All I want to do is see the evidence. I don't want you to tell me how bright I am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All I have to do is find against her. But what I could do to you is dismiss your case, and then good luck getting the $1,800.
I understand.
You have a turn, and then I rule. That's the way the game is played.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Malik Hanna claims guests of his former subletter, Isla Eves, vandalized his condo.
Okay, the only thing that I have to see is put together. You don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is someone connected with the defendant. There has to be more evidence than not.
Sure.
That someone connected to your subtenant caused the damage to the building. And if there is more evidence than not, I'm satisfied. Now you can move over, and I'd like you to bring in Miss Eve's daughter.
You know you're lying, so cut it out.
Miss Eve, hey, Mr. Hanna.
I'm sorry.
Just be quiet, because you already called my phone harassing me.
Ma'am.
You already called.
If you answer,
my phone
you see,
harassing.
it's very easy.
And I
It's
didn't do
very
anything.
easy with Miss Eves. All I have to do is find against her. But what I could do to you is dismiss your case, and then good luck getting the $1,800.
I understand.
Do you understand?
I do.
If you decide and have a conversation, and here I'm in charge, so you have a turn, and then I rule. That's the way the game is played.
You got it, Judge.
All right. Now I'm going to question your daughter. Do you understand? You are not to say anything.
That's fine. Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
Tell me
for
your first name.
Promise.
What is the name of the young man who broke the door?
I only know his artist name, Drip the Prince. That's all. That's all I know.
How did you get in touch with him?
The 27th, we went to the studio to record, and he happened to be in our session.
Is what you're telling me that the next time you saw him was on the 28th when he caused that damage to the building?
No, Your Honor, listen. So we seen him, right? And he's like, where you guys staying? And we told him. So he's like, okay, my house is close by, and I'm going to get a lift from there, right? So then we was like, you can't come upstairs. You got to sit in the lobby because we're not going to break, like, any rules or anything. So he's like, okay, that's fine. And then after that, the next time I seen him is when he banged on the door and told us somebody stole his phone. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Have You Been Cheated? The book. And follow us on Twitter.
I want to know how he got back to your building.
He got in a car, like a lift.
And when he got in the car, what brought him to your building?
We told him he can sit in the lobby and wait. He said he was locked out of his home.
Who told him that he could sit? Was it you? Your
Yeah.
mother?
It was
someone
me.
else?
My mom didn't
Did
know.
you have a key to get into the lobby, or is it a buzzer system? How do you get into the lobby?
It's a buzzer system. She had a key. I didn't.
Just a sec. Your mom had a key, so your mom opened the door, the front door.
No, someone else opened
In
it.
order to get into the building, who opened it?
Someone else opened it that was outside.
Okay, and then your mom went in?
She went in. I stayed
And
outside.
who let the young man into the lobby?
That's why I waited outside for him.
Thank you very much. Now you can sit down. May I see the bills, please?
Absolutely.
For the damage?
Absolutely, Your Honor. This is the invoice from the building manager that was sent over to me, and all I'm asking is for that damage.
Go ahead. 1841, judgment for the plaintiff. We're finished. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
This case is concluded. The parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy, this blended family mixed it up.
She hit me.
You had a girl fight.
They broke my nose, and I'm not happy with that.
Judge Judy.
This is ludicrous.
Judge Judy is wonderful, and I just wanted justice to be served at the end of the day.
It's not my child, and I don't care, and I'm not paying for it.
It's kind of sad that in the midst of all these awful times that someone like that could pull something like this off.
This case reads as almost a mini-series.
From matchmaker
The friend that you brought over and the defendant developed an affection for each other.
to minister.
When I got myself ordained on January 1st, I thought I was helping out.
And after the reception,
A fraudulent wedding.
deception,
He refused to sign the marriage certificate.
Why didn't you sign it?
this is Judge Judy. James Potts is suing his former landlord, April McDermott, for car expenses and the return of his security deposit.
Judge, this is case number 64 on the calendar in the matter of Potts versus McDermott. Parties have been sworn in. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Potts, this case reads a little bit from your complaint and from many series. From what I gather, you rented a guest house on Miss McDermott's property. In what year did you do that, sir?
2019, Your Honor.
And you are a veteran.
Yes, ma'am.
And from what I gather from your complaint, the Veterans Affairs paid not only some of the rent, but also paid the security deposit for the first several months you were there. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How many months did the VA pay rent?
They paid for June, July, August, September, and November.
June,
So-
July, August, September. What about October?
October also, I'm sorry.
And November. So the VA paid for 6 months.
That's correct.
And the security deposit.
Correct.
Just give me the month in 2019 that you moved in.
June.
June. And when did you move out?
I moved out February 4th of 2020.
So December and January, just follow me, were the only 2 months that you personally were responsible for rent.
That's correct.
Did you pay December's rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he pay December's rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you pay January's rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he pay January's rent?
No, Your Honor.
How much did you pay in January?
In January, I started paying.
Just, no.
Okay.
Tell me, Mr. Potts, let's not play with each other. You know, I'm smart.
Yes, you are.
May not be youthful and lithe anymore, but I am smart. How much did you pay for January's rent?
The total was about $900 because I started paying December's rent in November, and between
Oh, no,
November-
no.
I understand. I understand.
How much did you pay in January? If you can't give me an answer, I'm going to ask her.
I
How
did.
much did you pay in January?
In January, I paid about $800, I believe it was.
How much did you pay in January?
150.
Yeah. And you moved out in February.
February 4th.
So, and the total rent was $1,200 a month. So you paid $1,200 in December. So you paid a total in rent for this guest house of $1,350. Now, while you were there, two things happened while you were living in the guest house. First, you brought a friend over to visit you, and the friend that you brought over and the defendant developed an affection for each other and decided to get married. They asked you, because I assume they felt that you were the reason that they found each other, so that you could perform the ceremony, and you could do that online. Also correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
In what month did you become an ordained person so that you could perform their wedding ceremony?
That was in January of 2020.
Just for my own purposes, would you explain the process to me, how that works? Do you have to fill out forms? Do you have to pay a fee? What do you have to do? And
I went on.
how did you find it?
I did a little bit of research, and I found Universal Life Church did online ordinations. You apply, there's no fee, and you become ordained.
And did you do that?
I did that.
And did you get a certificate?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you have it?
I do.
I'd like to see it because that's part of her counterclaim. Okie dokie. And when did you perform the ceremony?
That was on January 23rd, Your Honor.
Also, in addition to doing this mitzvah of putting these two lovely people together, that means a good deed, putting these two people together, you also bought from the defendant a used car for $1,000. Also correct?
Also correct, Your Honor.
What kind of car was it?
A 2005 Chevrolet Classic.
So
Yes.
for $1,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
In what month did you buy the car?
I purchased the vehicle in August. Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
In July, the vehicle was sitting undriven, and I noticed that the tags were expired, so I offered as a show of faith, because I'd had an issue with the car. It was disabled. I offered in a show of faith to pay for the registration, to make the registration current, so that she would allow me to rent the car from her.
I heard the story. You're a person of very good faith. You ultimately purchased this car from her for $1,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's another part of your lawsuit. So you want two things. You want your security deposit back, which was $1,200. She acknowledges that she got the security deposit of $1,200. Her defense to that is you didn't pay the security deposit. The VA paid the security deposit, so you shouldn't get the security deposit back, even though there was no damage to the apartment. And you owed money for the month of January for rent, for which she used part of the security deposit. That's your defense to the security deposit portion, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that it doesn't become a tone. The second part of your lawsuit is, while you bought this 15-year-old car that was being not driven with expired tags, you say that this woman is so misguided or damaged that she agreed to pay for any mechanical trouble you had with the car, and you had mechanical trouble with the car which cost you thousands, which you want her to be responsible for. That's the second part of your lawsuit.
My request for the repairs on the vehicle were in lieu of receipt of the title, which I've never received.
Why don't you go and get the title? Did you give him a bill of sale? Did you give him a bill of sale?
I have the bill of sale, Your Honor. After I would refuse to give him the $1,200 back, he also refused to sign the marriage certificate. He wouldn't pick up the bill of sale or the title.
Just a second. Do you have it with you?
I do.
The bill of sale?
Yes.
Give it to him. Now get a title. Now you have the bill of sale. Could you put that bill of sale up there on the evidence desk so I can see it? Take down your ministry. Okay, that's dated September 20th, 2019. Okay, we're going to need some more specificity on that. You're going to have to put, do you have anything else? Do you have the title to the car? Are you the registered owner of the car?
Yes, Your Honor, I have the title. My mother was the registered owner, but she signed it over to me and also included a letter that she went with Mr. Potts to the DMV to pay the back registration so that the car would be not taken for unpaid registration, and he was supposed to turn the registration over to his name.
You want to give him the title to the car?
Yes.
Along with the note?
Yes.
Very good. Now he has all of that and the car. She's not paying for your repairs, sir. You understand that?
I do understand.
Okay.
Your Honor.
And Your Honor?
Perfect. And you what?
He drove the unregistered vehicle in my mother's name to a casino and received...
No, just a sec. Just a sec.
Okay.
Come up. We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Right now, I'm taking care of Mr. Potts.
Okay.
Who his 2 months' rent that he should have paid for the 2 months that he was there is $2,400. He paid a total of $1,350, which means that he owes you $1,050.
Your Honor, I have a detail of what I paid for December and January.
Your Honor, if I may?
You're going to have to show me, sir, they paid up until through November. So it's December and January.
They paid a
December and January. No, they paid.
They paid a graduated amount. I was partially responsible for the rent from August, September, October, and November.
How much did you pay her?
My share was $300, $400, $500, and $600, I believe, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. In December, when they stopped paying his full amount, he was having a hard time paying the rent.
Just a second. Were you getting a check from the VA?
They start out paying the full amount of $1,200. As the months progress, they start paying less, and he starts paying a portion. December, they stopped paying altogether. He was struggling. We lowered the rent to $850. I gave him every 2 weeks when he got paid to pay $425. He did not follow through with that. I have the return of deposit here showing exactly what monies he owes and the total of what was used from the deposit.
Okay, now this is where you're in trouble, Miss McDermott. We are eliminating, he had $1,200 in a deposit. I'm eliminating the $60 cleaning fee. Rent owed on 127. Per lease, extra money for an extra person. I'm not bothering with that. If he had somebody else living there and you let that happen, let it happen. And by the way, it couldn't have bothered you that much because you let him marry you in January, right?
Right.
Rent rebate to take money on a cruise that he did not use, came back on a cruise and borrowed money from family and friends. That's ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
While it may be true that the VA paid the security deposit, he's a veteran. Between the two of you, he has more of a right to that money, certainly, than you do as a stranger.
James Potts says his former landlord, April McDermott, is withholding his security deposit and the title to a car he bought from her. April is countersuing James for an unpaid parking ticket and for performing a fraudulent wedding.
Okay, so he owes you $425 for rent. Deducting that leaves $785. You gave him back nothing. Is that right? You gave him back nothing.
No.
Okay, so you owe him $785 for his security deposit. VA paid the security deposit. He's a veteran. I assume you're not.
No.
That was a benefit that he got. That between the two of you, he has more of a right to that money, certainly, than you do as a stranger.
Sure.
And the Veterans Administration may come back to you one day and say to you, sir, you owe us $785 from the security deposit that we paid for you. But right now, as between the two of you, it's your money.
Your Honor,
$785.
The representative for the VA told me that when I move out, the deposit would be
just
mine.
a second. Just a second.
Okay.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
I just said that to you, and you can't tell me what the VA said to you. That's hearsay.
Okay.
I've deducted the rent that you owe her.
Okay, I have a detail. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have a detail of the monies that I did pay.
Go. Go.
It's on the bottom here.
What's on the bottom there?
For December, the rent that I paid on November 18th was
Now I'm
$400.
talking about for all the months. My share, $400.
Right.
Said you took $100, paid $300. Okay, $785. We're done. That's what you get. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Parking tickets. When Mr. Potts had the car, is your claim that he got 2 parking tickets that were your responsibility and or your mother's responsibility?
Yes, Your Honor. It was just one ticket,
How much?
$200.
Did you pay it?
No, ma'am.
You did not pay it.
No, ma'am.
Who paid it?
It is not paid.
It's almost a year old, and it's not for you anyway. It's in the name of Joyce McDermott. That's your mother.
My mother.
Well, that's unfortunate for your mother. $785. Now, the other part of your counterclaim is a fraudulent wedding. After this kerfuffle that you had with the defendant, Mr. Potts, about the rent, and I assume that back in late January or February, there was a kerfuffle over rent. Did you not sign their marriage certificate?
I was offered by the defendant to trade the title to the vehicle for my signature. In the ensuing time frame, I did a little bit of research myself because when they had asked me to perform the ceremony, she told me that Richard would do the research and they would pay all the fees. So when I got myself ordained on January 1st, I thought I was helping out. And then after I had moved out and I was doing a little bit of research.
There were no fees.
There was a fee required by the County of San Diego for a deputy marriage commissioner for a day that I didn't find out about until I believe it was the end of March, well after the ceremony. So the fee, the $80 fee, so I was not...
I did not know that at the time. The marriage was in January and the document was never signed.
Yeah, I know it was never signed, but even if he signed it, it wouldn't have been legitimate, is what he's saying.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have an ethical and moral obligation not to extort something in exchange for signing the marriage certificate.
I was not extorting, Your Honor.
Why didn't you sign it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Potts is accusing his former landlord, April McDermott, of withholding his security deposit and the title to a car he bought from her.
Now, did you and your mate subsequently marry?
We are scheduled to marry again on November 13th of this year.
Where?
Las Vegas.
And you have that all set up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. With somebody who is licensed to perform weddings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have family and friends coming?
One daughter and son-in-law.
Was anyone there?
14 family members that came from Arizona and California. We all went on a cruise directly after the ceremony, and that's why the original was not signed that day.
Who went?
My fiance,
The plaintiff is plaintiff too?
and all of our family. For everybody, 16 people.
Did you pay, sir?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
They took you. They took you as a guest.
Yes, Your Honor, along with the other 14.
I don't care about anybody else. Well, there are other family members. You're not a family member. They took you as a guest. When did she ask you to sign the marriage license? On what date?
When I asked her for the title to my car, I have that
On
in
what
here.
date?
I believe the first time that she asked was on February 19th of 2020.
And where did that conversation take place?
In text, Your Honor.
May I see them?
You may.
I actually think that that was pretty nasty, Mr. Potts, not to sign the marriage certificate. You had nice people. You lived in a nice guest house, practically for free, with the VA picking up the majority of the tab. They were nice people. They took you on a vacation. They paid for it.
They didn't ask me if I wanted to go. I'd never wanted to go on a cruise, Your Honor.
Well, I think, sir, that you have an ethical and moral obligation, if you sign on to officiate at a wedding, not to extort something in exchange for signing the marriage. Why didn't you sign it?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Okay, why didn't you sign it? In February. Just tell me why you didn't sign it in February.
Because in February,
Give me the reason.
When she was in Hawaii, she told me that she would pay me my deposit, she would give me my title when she got back. When I asked her for the deposit and the title.
Why didn't you sign the marriage certificate the first time? You're supposed to sign it the day of the marriage.
Right, Your Honor.
I'm an officiant. I have performed hundreds of weddings in my lifetime as a judge. The day of the wedding, the day that I perform the ceremony, I sign it, I put it in an envelope, I put a stamp on it, and the first thing I do is to put it in a mailbox. So I'm certain that I have fulfilled my obligation. Why didn't you do that?
Your Honor, this was my first ceremony ever. I was just ordained on January 1st, as you know.
Good. That just cost you $785. You're happy. I hope you're happy in Vegas.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
What did you find when you got there?
My car on top of 9 fence posts and chain link fence wrapped underneath of it.
He says he wasn't even there. It doesn't get easier. It's just going to get harder.
Judge Judy.
I believe she was a fair judge. I don't believe she was being really fair this time.
I do feel Judge Judy was fair in the judgment.
There were a lot of details that were not brought out.
I do feel that there was some stuff I didn't get to address as well, but she did the best she can.
I told her I was going to be late with the rent.
Well, he's a gambler.
I was having a problem getting it.
He had gambled the money away that he was supposed to pay the rent with.
I was going to go and get the rent when she told me to get out.
And I had just had it at that point.
I don't know if it was fair, but I felt that that was an appropriate response to how I was being treated.
That was my mistake. I should have had it signed right away, directly after the marriage, so I take that on my own shoulders.
She came into me. I felt super bad.
A mechanic promised to make it right.
How much to fix your car?
He said anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000.
Where did you get the money?
It was my life savings.
Now only the judge can salvage it.
Did you fix her car?
I did not.
That means you just took her money.
No, ma'am, I was trying.
Try. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You did nothing.
This is Judge Judy. Tara Dern is suing Enrique De La Vara for the return of money she paid him to fix her car after she'd been in an accident. Tara claims Enrique didn't do any work.
Judge's case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Dern versus De La Vara. Parties have been sworn in.
Miss Dern, you had an accident with your car. According to you, you were rear-ended by what happened?
I was bumped in an accident, and the impact shocked me, and I rear-ended somebody, and it was a really bad accident.
So you had damage to both the front and rear of your car?
Correct.
In what month and year did the accident happen?
July 27th, 2020.
According to your complaint, you had liability insurance on your car, which is a relatively new car, but did not have collision on the car. So whatever expenses were going to be, they were going to be your expenses, because what I understand from your complaint is that the person who hit you fled the scene.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Do you have a police report of that incident?
I do not.
Do you have any paperwork with regard to that incident?
I do not.
Did your insurance company pay the car that you hit?
We're still in the investigation. I do have some pictures of evidence from the accident.
No, I want to know if you have any documentation from your insurance company. Who were your insurance carriers?
Geico. I have Geico insurance.
And you had them on that date, on the date of the accident?
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Well, you hit the car in front of you. Did you give that car owner your insurance information?
Yes.
Were you contacted by Geico?
Yes.
Did Geico settle that claim?
It's still being under investigation.
Do you have any...
But I have received letters.
That they're still investigating the accident?
Yes, correct.
And police were not called to the scene?
Police were called.
If the police were called, there was a report?
Yes, I didn't bring the information, Your Honor.
You didn't bring the police report?
I didn't bring it.
I'd like to see photographs of your car after the accident. Do you have one full picture of the car? And then you can show me its parts.
Here's the front. Here's the back.
Okay, so that's where you hit somebody, and that's...
This is the rear. I have multiple rears.
Got it. Okay. That's a pretty bad accident. Was anybody hurt?
I was under a lot of shock, but fortunately no one was hurt. I had some chemical burn on my hand, but...
From?
The airbag.
From the airbag?
Yes.
How did you find the defendant who you brought your car to fix?
So I posted something on the San Diego Conscious Community page in regards to looking for someone who specializes under collision repair. So someone that I knew personally referred me to the shop TJ Crossman's, and she specifically asked me to ask for a guy named Ricky. So I said, great, I'm being taken care of. I'm just really looking forward to getting my vehicle fixed. So I
Who
went...
was this person?
That I thought I could trust.
Who?
Her name is Dulce.
And how did she say she knew Ricky?
She didn't specify. She just said, here's the shop you should go to. Ask for a guy named Ricky.
So you went and you found Ricky, and Ricky worked at a body shop?
Yes, correct.
Was your car drivable or not?
It was not. I had to get it towed there.
On what date did you get it towed there?
August 4th.
Mr. De La Vara, you're shaking your head no. It wasn't towed to your shop?
No, it was towed to the shop, ma'am. Your Honor, it wasn't a body shop. We're an automotive repair shop. Well, I don't work there anymore, but it was an automotive repair shop. It wasn't a body shop.
Okay. So what kind of work do you do?
I'm a health coach, and I also teach classes. Previously to the accident...
She's not a mechanic.
Yes.
Go ahead. Previous to the accident, what?
I was driving Uber as well. My vehicle was my means of making money, so just extra money.
When you brought your car into this mechanic's shop and you asked for Ricky, he introduced himself. And did you make a side deal with him that he would fix the car on his own time?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Okay. And the side deal that you made with him, which he would not be doing on his boss's time, was how much to fix your car?
He said anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000.
Had you gotten other estimates to fix the car?
No, Your Honor. At the time, I just wanted to get my car fixed. I wasn't thinking clearly at the time.
Where did you get the money?
I just had money. It was my life savings.
You had the money where? In a savings account or in a checking account? In what? What bank?
It was Huntington Bank. It was in my checking account.
Now, you say you wired the defendant money to start working on your car. Do you have proof of that wire?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
Here's the first payment of $3,000.
And that went into what account of yours, Mr. Delavara?
It was a Western Union. I just went and picked up the cash. It didn't go into an account.
Okay, so she wired it and you picked it up in cash at Western Union.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was $3,000. And then she sent you another payment.
Yes.
When?
I think it was 2 weeks after.
How much did she send you?
Another $2,000.
Did you fix her car?
I did not.
Why not?
I was in the process of getting the parts for the car, and I mean, I tried to save her some money because she was...
How long did it take you to get the parts for the car?
Well, I never got them.
When did she first send you the $3,000? On what date?
I don't remember.
Was that in August?
I don't remember the date, ma'am. It may have been.
What was the date?
It was the day of the accident. The day that she ran into me, or when I met her. That afternoon or the next day, she sent me the money, and I went and picked it up. Thing is that for me to save her the money, because I ended up taking it to one of the body shops that we used, and they gave me an estimate, because I was going to try to fix the car through them. It was $10,000. She came into me. I felt super bad. She was...
You had the car for 3 months. What did the car look like after 3 months? You had the car and her money.
It looked the same because...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
It was in the same condition as when it was towed into your shop.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's outrageous, sir.
Well, the thing is that I was trying to get the parts.
That means you just took her money.
No, ma'am, I was trying.
No, you just took her money. That's really outrageous, sir. That's really outrageous.
Okay, ma'am, I was trying to get the parts. I was trying to save her money. When I saw her, she was...
Try. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You did nothing.
That is correct,
You just
Your Honor.
took her money.
Your Honor, look, this...
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I actually contacted the woman who referred me to the shop, and I said...
I knew what it was going to cost to repair the car, and I just tried to help her out. Things fell through.
I wouldn't even dare to refer anyone to this person.
It was repairable. It's just extensive repair.
And then later to find that my car wasn't worked on at all.
And like I said, we weren't a body shop. We were just an automotive repair shop, so I was just trying to help her out.
Yes, it's going to be fixed. I have to just slowly make payments as I go.
Well, she went to my work and told him that I stole her money. I was going to pay for it, but I lost my job, so now there's no way of paying it.
All parties in the matter of Gray versus Farrell. Step to the podium, please.
Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
Miss Gray, you and your husband and Mr. Farrell and Mrs. Farrell, all four of you were victims of a fire that occurred in Napa Valley sometime last year. Is that correct?
It was this year in August.
August.
Yes.
And both of your families and your pets were relocated to a hotel, and you were staying in the same hotel.
Correct. Sit down.
You, Mrs. Gray, have 3 Shih Tzus.
I do. I only have 2 now. I did have 3 at the time.
But you had 3 in August.
Correct.
And you have 1 dog that's with you. And it is your claim that on the 23rd of August, you went out with your 3 Shih Tzus to walk them, and you took your dog out for a walk. You went through the hotel lobby. According to you, at the time you went through the lobby, your dog was on leash. Is that correct? Not an hum is not an answer. Yes is an answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you got outside, did you take your dog off? Was on leash when this incident happened?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Plaintiff says otherwise. I would like you to make sure that what you tell me is true, because I'm not sure whether you are responsible for the vet bills that plaintiff incurred anyway. But it's important to me to have all of the accurate information. Do you understand? This is not a murder trial. Okay. So your dog was, according to you, on leash.
Yes, Your Honor.
And according to you, Miss Gray, your dogs were on leash. You came out of the hotel. Mr. Farrell's dog was not on leash. You had an exchange of words with him. He said something like, my dog is friendly, doesn't bite. And your dogs were excited and barking. That be a fair statement?
I'll tell you the story.
Would that be a fair statement? I'm asking you a question.
They were that way when they saw the defendant's dog, yes.
Yes. They were excited and barking.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I could recreate that situation right now.
Me too.
If I wanted to, which I don't. And what happened is the dogs were sort of running around, your dog, on leash.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Farrell's dog never touched either of your dogs.
No, they did not.
Or you.
No.
Or got within...
It's probably 8 feet is probably the distance.
8 feet. I said, didn't get within 8 feet of you or your dogs.
Right.
Your dogs were barking, running around, and you got entangled in their leashes and fell.
No, that's
and
not what
fell
happened.
On the dogs.
That isn't what happened.
Did you fall on the dogs?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have to demonstrate how his dog being off leash was the cause of your tripping over your dog. Then
what do you
want to
show me? What do you want to see? First of all, they're lying. Their dog was not on a leash.
Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
Your dogs were barking, running around, and you got entangled in their leashes and fell.
No, that's not what
fell
happened.
On the dogs.
That isn't what happened.
Did you fall on the dogs?
I did fall on the dogs. I fell back on the dogs after I yanked them behind me. My dogs weren't running around. They were sniffing around to go potty, whatever. He came out of the hotel glass door with his dog off leash. There's bushes. He said, don't worry, she doesn't bite. And I said, it doesn't matter if she bites or not. My dogs will bark. They're Shih Tzus. They're going to bark. So they barked and they all pulled on my leashes. His dog came through the bushes going, "Arr!" And I yanked them back behind me, and I tripped off the curb that was behind me and landed on all 3 of them. That's exactly what happened, Your Honor.
Well, you tell me, madam, if his dog didn't come within 8 feet of you, what caused his dog to stop?
Because they noticed each other. My dogs
dogs are very fast. Dogs are very, very fast. If he came out snarling and running towards your dogs, something had to stop him.
My dog, because he
didn't get.
Can I explain what happened?
It was very quick.
Can I show you a picture?
Go ahead.
See, which one should I do? So this one here. So we're walking from this direction. My dogs were up in here sniffing around. I was standing right here with them on their leashes.
Just a second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
You were standing where?
I was standing like
Show
right
me
here.
where you were standing.
Probably somewhere around here.
Okay. Somewhere around here is not an answer. Show me where you were standing. It's your picture.
Right here.
Well, first you showed me closer to the curb.
Well, because, it happened so fast. I was holding their leash. They came out of this door right here.
And just show me, Miss Gray, I now see where you were standing, and show me where your dogs were sniffing.
All around here.
And don't say anything. Okay. That looks to me about 10 to 12 feet away from you. Were they on retractable leashes or just long leashes?
One
Were they
was.
on? Look, no. Just listen to me. Don't say I believe. I want you to think. Were they on retractable leashes or short leashes?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It lunged at us, and it was snarling, and its teeth were showing, and it happened so fast, I just yanked my dogs back, and I fell. And it would not have happened if his dog wasn't there.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, you're not buying it, but it's true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy Gray is suing Jason and Lavetta Farrell after a run-in with their dogs caused Kathy to fall and injure one of her dogs.
That looks to me about 10 to 12 feet away from you. Were they on retractable leashes or just long leashes?
One
Were they
was.
on? Look, no, just listen to me. Don't say I believe. I want you to think. Were they on?
I'm trying to remember
I have
because
three
we
Shih Tzus,
were
by the way.
I know you do. We were evacuated. We were improvising. So I think I had one of them on retractable leash. I'm trying to remember. Everything was. But if I did, and I don't think I did because I can't yank that one back. So, no. And the leashes aren't any longer than 8 feet. I think they're only 6-foot leashes.
That's more than 6 feet away from where you were standing if you tripped back over the curb, which is what you said happened.
Yeah, but I thought you asked me if the dog was within 8 feet of my dogs and me. So they were,
Just a second. What I'm telling you, where you say you were standing and tripped and fell over that curb, which is what you wrote in your complaint.
Yes.
Your dogs were more than 6 feet away from you.
Well, actually, no, they were in the air.
If they were...
Because I yanked them back behind me and I tripped.
Oh, okay. He's not responsible for you falling and injuring your dog.
Okay. But I have video of his dog off leash.
His dog is off leash.
Your Honor,
is a bad
I had to go through so much.
Miss Gray, that his dog is off leash is not a good thing. You have to demonstrate how his dog being off leash was the proximate cause of your tripping over your dog.
Definitely the reason why I fell.
Then
what do you
want to
show me? What do you want to see?
You
First
say
of all,
you
they're
have,
lying. They're there.
I am assuming. I'm assuming that their dog was off leash. I'm assuming that their dog was off leash. You have to show a cause between their dog being off leash and you're falling backwards. Now, what I don't believe is that their dog was off leash and lunged at your dog.
They did.
And the reason I don't believe that is I'm a dog owner. If a dog that's off leash is going to attack 3 little dogs, it doesn't stop cold in its tracks from attacking the little dogs, especially when they're no longer under control of anybody because the person who has control of them is on the floor. Then it would have absolutely gone if it was gnarling and snapping, as you allege.
It snarled, it lunged at us, and it was snarling, and its teeth were showing, and it happened so fast, I just yanked my dogs back, and I fell. And it would not have happened if his dog wasn't there.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, you're not buying it, but it's true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook.
It doesn't make sense to me. As a dog owner my whole life, I realize that your dogs are Shih Tzus, and you say Shih Tzus bark. Well, I have 3 Shih Tzus. 2 of them bark, 1 of them does not. And they bark at everybody. They bark as soon as they walk in. And the breed is not consistently known as yappers. But your dogs, prior to this case starting, when they walked in, they were the ones that were barking because I was at the bench. They were the ones that went after the defendant's dog. And then you picked them up. I watched that.
Okay.
And then you picked them up.
Okay.
That's what happened.
You're the judge.
Okay, your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you. Bye.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
You guys think it's really funny, don't you? You guys lied.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She collided into my bike, and I had to stop my fall before I was hit by a truck. She said, "I'm sorry, but I'm running late for school."
Judge Judy.
I think Judge Judy did justice, and regardless of anything, as you could see, we did not have to talk.
Because they're
off a leash. Her dogs were the aggressors.
They lied that their dog was on a leash.
And she wasn't even on a curb when she fell.
Yes, I saw him 3 times that day with your dog off leash.
I actually already handed the dog to her at the hotel entrance, and when I turned around,
because it's a bigger dog, it came at us through the bushes snarling, and so of course I'm gonna protect my dogs and fling him behind me.
The lady says, "I'm really sorry," and got tangled up. She had 1 leash that divided into 3.
It all happened like bam, and yes, when they all noticed each other, my dogs barked.
Got tangled up in her leashes and fell.
It happened so fast, I think I did, but it tripped off the curb.
I was upset about her dog's leg being broken in the middle of it.
And I landed on all 3 dogs.
We did as much as we could. My animal is a service dog. She goes to old folks' homes and wonderful with children. She just couldn't contain her dogs at that point.
And they also told me they were going to pay half the vet bill.
Not at all aggressive.
You did.
I send, my best wishes to her and her dog.
I hope you guys are happy. Your karma's going to get you.
It was frightening. It was menacing.
An explosion of anger shakes a neighborhood.
You body Englishing her all the way.
But you have to spray nobody. Move your car. If someone is damaging my car, I'm not going to allow it.
Does rage run in their family?
Uncivilized behavior.
This is Judge Judy. LaShawn Oliver is suing her neighbor, Tyler Deku, for an assault during a dispute over parking.
Judge, this is case number 130 on the calendar in the matter of Oliver versus Deku. Parties have been sworn in. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss Oliver, how long have you been living in your house?
Since 2012.
Who else lives with you?
My son and my daughter, they reside with me.
Do you own your home or do you rent it?
I rent an apartment.
Does the apartment come with a parking space?
Yes, ma'am.
Within the unit?
Within
the complex?
Correct.
This case is about a dispute over parking. You and or your father live across the street from the plaintiff, is that right?
Yes.
Do you live with your father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who else lives with your father?
I have 2 younger brothers and my mother.
And when did you move into your, is it an apartment or a house?
It's a house, but we also rent, and we've only been there for maybe 6 months now.
And your houses are across the street from each other?
Yes.
Your case is about an alleged assault that took place over how you parked your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Came to your home and instigated a fight where she assaulted you, and you want to be compensated for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant says she came over merely to have a chat, and it was actually you who threatened her and began what turned into a confrontation, which resulted in the police being called. Does anyone have a diagram or a photograph that I can look at of how these properties are so that I can see the parking space that we're talking about? Because what I understand, Ms. Deku, from what I understand, the plaintiff parks her car in the street in front of her unit. Your father also parks his car across the street from where he lives.
Yes.
On the same side of the street as where the plaintiff lives.
Yes, he does occasionally.
How occasionally?
Every once in a while. We all have our own vehicles, so we may need to park on the street sometimes, but it's a public street, so, you know, it's right in front of our house or right in front of someone else's home, but it's still on the street. We don't block anything. So.
Got it. So your father was parking across the street on the same side of the street as where plaintiff lives, but plaintiff was also parking her car with her, as you indicated in your papers, that she was parking too close to your father and therefore making it very difficult to get in and out. And someone,
no, not
according
exactly.
to you, had seen, well, tell me exactly.
Basically, Your Honor, she would park literally her bumper on top of our front bumper. So she's bagging up, and it wouldn't be not a space, not an inch, nothing. Her bumper was literally damaging my father's.
Touching... Well, that's what I said. I said you're parking too close to your father's car. Now, that's why I wanted to see a photograph. Was there any reason why someone would have to park that close?
I really don't know. We asked her to move it.
Okay. Do you have photographs or
I do have video.
Diagram for me to look? I'd like to see it.
Okay.
I'd like to see what you're telling me. Do you have a diagram?
I have a
photograph for me to see?
I have a still photo, but it's not pretty clear. I wanted to double check if it's clear for you, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have one.
That doesn't help me much. I have to see without people. I just want to see at this point.
The cars are behind the people that are in the photo. So the red vehicle is my vehicle, and the gray vehicle on that side is their vehicle. But the video that one was parked at the time of the incident.
I'm going to show it to
you.
you.
I'd like to see that.
Okay.
So stop looking for the photograph right now and watch the video.
Okay.
Get away from my door. 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 What is a threat?
That's not a threat.
It's assault.
Okay. Okay, did I do it?
It don't matter.
Did I do it?
So if you watch behind where she's speaking, that's where the vehicles are parked.
Well, so I can't see. So there is a driveway there.
I did, though, so now what? But I did, so now what? And I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll do it the day after that.
Hey, if you don't want nobody at your door.
If you don't want nobody at your door, stop a disrespectful, bitter ass.
Anyway, back up.
I still keep walking up on y'all.
6 feet distance because I'm a pepper spray you next time you
Go get it. Go get it. Yeah. Go get it.
But you have to spray nobody.
Move your car. 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 You don't got a mask on either.
Yeah, because I came out of
Exactly, because you're under people's car.
Back up.
How about you move your car? Move your car and Okay, I figured that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the red car belongs to whom?
That's my vehicle, Your Honor.
And the gray car belongs to whom?
That's ours.
Okay, so what I see, Miss Oliver, is that it looks to me as if you are parking in a cutout where people have to move in to get to their cars.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, just a second. Miss Deku, I'm not excusing your behavior.
No, I understand because I'm
not excusing your behavior.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
finish
figured.
watching the video. I'm not excusing your behavior.
No, I understand. I shouldn't have acted the way I did.
You shouldn't have? You think so? Mm-hmm. Is there any more to the video that you want to show me?
The second video that is shown on there, it shows how the assault, but the battery, where her mom actually makes the first contact with my daughter.
Is the other woman in the video that I saw before your mother?
Yes.
So you came from across the street to tell her to move her car?
Yes, I went to knock on her door.
Now, can I see the cars again? Can I see the cars again? Is there a car parked behind your father's car?
A car parked behind
Is there
whose?
a car? Your father's car.
No.
Is there a car parked behind the gray car? So why didn't he just back up?
Because there's someone's house. It's someone's driveway.
But why didn't he just...
Wasn't.
Just a second.
Yeah.
No, I know she wasn't in the correct space, but what I asked you was, what was the reason for the confrontation?
He couldn't
if your
move. If he
father
would have moved
wanted
back
to get
a little
listen,
bit, he would have been in someone else's.
Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Was he leaving?
No.
Was he going out? So all he had to do, in order to prevent this confrontation, she was parking in the wrong spot. But if he wanted to leave, it wasn't a question that he couldn't leave. He pulls back because there was nobody there because it was a driveway. So it wasn't as if his car was being held captive because she was an inch too close. He could have backed out and easily just left. So what I want
why
to know...
would he leave? That's what was confusing. We weren't ready to go.
No, he didn't have to leave. No, listen. I'm not saying he had to go. Stop looking quickly. Try to open up your mind. When he had to leave, whenever that was, her car wasn't interfering with him. They could have had her car towed because it was parked in the driveway. But when and if and whenever, on what day, at whatever time your father wanted to leave, all he had to do was pull back into the driveway and pull out. Nobody was blocking him from leaving.
Ma'am. Your Honor, that wasn't the issue. The issue was her car was putting damage on my father's.
Show me the damage to your father's car.
No problem.
Show me the damage to your father's car.
No problem. One moment. Let me find the pictures for you.
I see I don't have a counterclaim. Shh. Just, I'm going to look at the rest of your video in a minute. Nothing is... Yes.
Okay. You can literally see my father's bumper is being pushed down. There's no space in between. And it's not the first time. This is the second time. His whole bumper is being cracked. It's being cracked. There's no space in between. This is all damage.
No, I see this. No, I don't see any damage that her car caused to your father's bumper.
The whole bumper is literally, like, being pushed down. This is not supposed to have space in between the car and the light. There's not supposed to be space.
What I'm telling you is I don't see that her car did that damage.
Okay.
I don't see that her car did that damage.
If she don't see it, it's fine. Okay.
I mean, I don't see it. I see that there's damage to this gray car, a couple of spots where it's damaged, but I don't see her car at that height doing that damage to the car, unless you have a video that you want to show me.
I do have video. I have more pictures, and I also have a witness here.
Is the witness here on this for this date? And this incident happened on what day?
July 23rd.
Okay. Since July 23rd, has your father filed for damage to his car?
No, he sold the car.
Just a second. So the answer is your father has not filed a claim against her for damage to his car.
No, because we sold the car.
I don't care whether you sold the car. That's up to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Didn't you ever hear of COVID screaming in her face?
If you didn't want to catch COVID and you don't want someone yelling in your face, I wouldn't come outside and get near them.
Something wrong with you. What do you do for a living?
I own my own charity.
You own your own charity?
Yes, I do.
This will be a great ad for you.
LaShawn Oliver claims neighbor Tyler Deku assaulted her during an argument over parking.
Okay, now I'm going to see the rest of the video because I have no counterclaim here. I have what looks to me like a very hot situation that was precipitated by the defendant.
Would I be able to present my video?
Absolutely love to see a video after I see hers. Right now I see you and your mother on her side of the property and you body Englishing her all the way back onto her property, screaming in her face. That's what I saw. I didn't see any physical contact yet. I saw a lot of foul-mouthing and menacing kind of behavior by you, not by her. So if you have a turn, go. Let's see. Miss Oliver, let me see the rest of the video.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is that man?
My father. Him and my mother were trying to stop me.
So your father is going towards her apartment.
No, I was towards her apartment. He was trying.
No, I just asked who the man was. I didn't know who the man was. So now you have you and your father at her apartment.
Yes.
It's a threat.
That's not a threat.
It's assault.
Okay. Okay, did I do it?
It don't matter.
Did I do it?
You're not going to jail. You didn't threaten.
You that scared?
No.
Exactly. Yes, you are. You are.
I wouldn't be standing here if I was scared of you.
Bitch, you have to bang on your door. What are you talking about? We rolling down. It don't matter. I already did, so now what?
Don't come to
I
my
did,
door
though,
again.
so now
Don't
what?
come to my
But
door
I
again.
did, so now what? And I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll do it the day after that.
Just get off our car.
If you don't want nobody at your door, stop being a disrespectful old.
Anyway, back up.
I still keep walking up on you. I don't give a what you want to
6
do.
feet distance because I'm a pepper spray.
This happened this year?
It happened last
this
year,
year?
July 23rd, 2020.
Didn't you ever hear of COVID?
Yeah, she bit me in the middle of the altercation, so.
Didn't you ever hear of COVID screaming in her face? Didn't you
Okay, she
ever
came
hear about
outside.
that when
She
you
had a
thought-
choice to not come outside, man. I wouldn't come outside and get near them.
Something wrong with you. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
I work for a non-profit organization, and I do music. I'm an entrepreneur. I own businesses. I own my own charity.
You own your own charity?
Yes, I do.
This will be a great ad for you.
I was angry, and she was extremely disrespectful. When it comes to my parents, all of that good stuff goes thrown out of the window. I'm sorry. I'm not happy about it. I'm not saying.
You came to her house.
You're right. And
you
her
came
car
to her
was
house.
and her car was on my car. Exactly. That was the reason. I have probable cause for the reason I acted the way that I did. If
Well,
someone's
I'm
car,
telling you.
if someone is
I'm telling you,
damaging my
when
car,
you show me,
if
when
someone
you
is
show
damaging
me,
my car, I'm not going
they're
to
going to cut
allow
off
it.
your mic, not mine.
That's fine.
Do you understand?
I don't
You don't
mind.
talk over me. So if you tell me that you have probable cause, I would love to take a look at your law degree.
You don't have to have
If
a
you're
law degree
telling
to
me you
have
had
a probable
cause to
You
go
just have to
over-
have a law degree to actually.
Well, you have to know what probable cause is. If you
I
think
know what it
that
is,
somebody
and if
touching your father's car,
That's
if
not probable cause.
Why
it's
don't
not
you-
touching it, it's damaging it. If someone comes in your home hitting your door with something, are you going to not try to stop them? Are you going to tell them that's not okay? Are you going to allow it to happen? Exactly.
I want to know what kind of charity you. I would just like to know. I asked what you did
No,
for
it
a
has
living. I
nothing to
would
do
like
with the
to know.
case. It has nothing to do with the case.
All right. Do you have a photograph of her touching you or a video of her touching you?
Well, towards the end of it, you see where the mother pushes, and then the actual still shot is where my daughter dropped her phone.
I would like to see it.
See, at this point, she, right before this...
Exactly. And it's on your video.
So if you rewind it...
I would be wary of that charity.
Okay,
They
that
don't know
part
the charity.
right there.
That was why I didn't tell you.
So
continue.
I would like
get smart. I'm scared.
I would like to see any bills that you have or a doctor's report of the injuries that you sustained.
So I did not go to the hospital, but I did have injuries to my eye from her kicking me.
Okay. Do you have a photograph
Can
of
you
that?
prove that I kicked you in that altercation? Because if you can't, then it probably wasn't because of me.
Bird, put her out.
Ma'am, step out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is there any reason why you didn't park in your garage?
My son and my daughter have their vehicles, and they were.
Oh, well, but then you can't do that. You have to drive.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. LaShawn Oliver is accusing neighbor Tyler Deku of assaulting her during an argument.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I do have testimony that I requested from the court and the police report also. It states that my daughter witnessed him choking me.
No,
The father.
Just a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just a second. I asked you. Is she talking? Are you talking?
I was.
Out.
Out. Okay. To lie on someone that's not here. My husband's not here. He did not choke her.
Out. It makes my life much simpler. I asked you if you had any medical reports. You said no. You showed me a photograph. Fine. You spoke about other testimony. Was there a criminal proceeding?
No, Your Honor.
In what other court did you have a proceeding?
I requested a protective order.
You had a hearing on a protective order. You filed a protective order against whom?
All three of the defendants, Ms. DeCout, her mother, and her father.
Was it denied?
The mother and father's protective ending the 3-year protective order against Ms. DeCout.
Against this defendant?
Correct.
I can understand that. It's a very, very unfortunate situation, Miss Oliver. And Miss Oliver, you do understand that I don't condone that kind of uncivilized conduct, which it was. Coming over to you, screaming at you, coming to your house, which I know that they did, which is outrageous and can be frightening. You do know it all started because you were parking in the wrong space.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, there would appear to me to be no reason why you would park in the wrong space, not a wrong space, but actually park so that you were inhibiting other people from comfortably getting in and out of their garage spaces. From the video you showed me, you were a full car length into the driveway. Is there any reason why you didn't park in your garage?
My son and my daughter have their vehicles, and they were.
Oh, well, but then you can't do that. You have to drive a little bit further to find a parking space, Miss Oliver.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Well, that's a very, very good idea, because these people and the way they do business are going to damage your car, and you won't know how it happens. At least you won't be able to prove it.
In a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Are you the victim of an assault? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, I don't believe that you caused any of the alleged damage to his car that she showed me. In any event, they don't have the car anymore. They sold it, and they sold it without bringing any sort of a lawsuit against you for damage, which suggests to me that damage issue was a whole lot of who shot John. They behaved badly, and I'm not sure that the injuries that you were alleged happened to your eye as a result of her kicking you in the eye actually happened that way. I get those red spots in my eye all the time. If it was a result of being kicked, there would be some sort of bruise someplace else. In any event, I don't think that she had the right to come over and confront you. I don't think that that incident is worth whatever you're suing for, which is $4,000. But in order to teach her a lesson, I'm awarding you $500. That will make a statement that you got an order of protection, but her conduct was such that it was frightening and it was menacing, and she's not allowed to do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500.
Thank you,
We're
Your
finished.
Honor.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She said the shotgun is with my son who lived. That would be a fair assessment.
Don't cross your arms. There's only one attitude here.
Next Judge Judy.
Well, I felt it was fair. I just wanted someone to see exactly what was demonstrated. I hope that we just go on with our own separate lives. Time to find another parking spot.
You told him to leave the job. I assume that that's what happened?
Yes.
Did a frustrated handyman.
I was going over there to get my payment.
Do a job on her car.
Is that you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you think that I think that you did to her car?
I had no motivation to scratch her car. I wasn't angry. I had no problem.
Pay careful attention, sir. You're not as smart.
This is Judge Judy. Kimberly Page is suing her neighbor, Daniel Bazugaloff, for damage to her sliding door, damage to her car, and punitive damages for vandalism.
Judges, case number 159 on the calendar in the matter of Page versus Bazugaloff. Parties have been sworn in. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Page, from what I read, you met the defendant, Mr. Bazugaloff, at a neighbor's home, shortly after this neighbor's home. Were you a tenant in this neighbor's home, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
And during the course of discussions, you indicated that when your house was built, the sliding doors in your house were put in backwards, yes, which was an issue for you. Yes. And your friend and neighbor said, gee, my friend, a new tenant, Mr. Bazugaloff, fixed my sliding glass doors. Maybe he can fix yours.
Correct.
And he came over and took a look at it. And he said, I can, in fact, fix it. And you agreed on a price, and you agreed for him to provide the materials, to go out and buy the materials, and to reimburse him for the materials he needed. So far, am I correct?
Not exactly. We never actually agreed on a price. I did agree to pay him for the work that he was going to do.
Okay. If you say, I will pay you for your labor, that presupposes that he is going to fix the amount he charges for labor. You do understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. When did he start work on your doors?
He came over on the 27th of October, and that's the day that he discussed working on it. The following day he came over, and when I was at work, and he started working on the door.
On the 28th? I'd like to see them.
This is the work that was done.
Now, let me see the whole. Do you have a picture of the whole door?
Actually, in the photos, I have a picture that was taken from a far distance away, so it's not really a clear picture of the door.
Well, I would like to see a picture of the door. Of the door now, and if you had one of the door then. Do you have pictures of the door now?
Oh, this is basically the picture that I have of the door. That's as good as I can probably provide you at this time, because that's the door before he worked on it.
And this looks like it was in a room that was being renovated.
Yes,
what
actually.
was being renovated in that room?
The kitchen.
Okay. And in what month and year was that picture taken?
This was taken just right before he had worked on the door in October.
So the sliding glass doors from the kitchen, and I assume that that's into either a family room or a dining room, were put in backwards. You want him to put it in right, and it is your claim that he didn't do a good job, that he put them in upside down.
No,
okay. So now, not upside down? How did he put them in wrong?
He actually cut the frame of the sliding glass door because he said that the door wasn't lining up with the frame the way he had put it in, and it lined up perfectly when I did it. But he had already cut the frame when I was at work with a cutting tool and
Then I have to see what the door looks like now. Did you put the door back in, sir?
The door had to come out, yes, Your Honor. The door had to come out due to the fact that her running frame was so old and so damaged that the frame itself had to be replaced. Not the doors, but the framing. And that's why I was grinding to remove the frame.
I have to see. Well, I don't know if it's ridiculous or not. Do you have somebody who fixed the door after he did what he did?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'd like to hear the person who you have that fixed the door. Who is that?
My husband.
I'm not interested in your husband.
I actually haven't replaced the door yet.
I'm not interested in your husband.
I haven't replaced the door
So
yet.
you mean there's no door in your house? Is
No.
that what you're telling me?
The door is, when he put it in incorrectly, which made it not line up properly to the frame. So he cut the frame.
I don't know that because you don't have photographs for me to look at. That's what you're saying to me. He says to me that the frame was old and didn't match the door, so he had to grind it down and put in a new frame. Is that what I'm understanding from you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I had to grind it to remove it to put in the new frame. If you look at the frame itself right now, you can see the house is that it's weathered and it's worn out.
Okay. My house was built in 1989.
Well, so it's only 30 years old. But if you had had it fixed, madam, and you had a bill for having it fixed because what he did was wrong, and I have the person here who can explain that to me, that's fine. Showing me photographs of little bits and saying my husband fixed it,
Okay, no, my
And
husband
I've been
didn't-
living with a fixed door.
No, my door
Well,
hasn't been
your
fixed.
door-
My door is still looks horrible. It still looks like this. You can't lock it. The frame, if you rubbed up against the side of it, you would cut your arm or you would rip your clothes. It's not fixed. It's horrible.
Very good. Okay, let's forget the door because you don't have enough evidence for the door, Miss Page. The second part of your lawsuit is you say that when he came to collect his money, materials that he bought, and for the labor that he put in, he came several times and there was no cooperation. It is your claim that in retaliation he vandalized your car.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you said that you have evidence to prove that he vandalized your car. On what date do you claim he vandalized your car?
According to my home surveillance camera, it was on November 17th at exactly 7:57 p.m., which I have a video that I...
November 17th.
Yes, he came to my door directly after he keyed my car. He came to my front door.
So you eventually told him to leave the job. You didn't want him to finish this job. I assume that that's what happened?
Yes, that was the next day after this. He didn't do anything more after.
So that was
he
the
cut
28th, at the 28th or the 29th?
Correct.
Okay. And he came to your door on the 17th. What exactly did he say to you?
He said, if I would have let him finish the job, it would have been painted and everything would have been great. But, of course, I did not let him do that because I was very unhappy with the fact that he cut the frame without my knowledge when I was at work, and I had no idea he had done that. I would never have let him cut the frame.
Well, that calls for him to know the operation of your mind. You told him to fix the door.
All he was supposed to do was
came
turn
the
it
next
over
day.
and to put it on the other track.
Good. That's wonderful. I don't even have to go into that. He came to your door and said to you what?
That if I would have let him finish his project, I would have been
It would
happy
have been
with
fine.
it. It would have been fine.
Okay, and you said to him?
I said to him that I would pay him $20 for the rollers that he had purchased. But that was, and actually also what I said was that after he left, I turned the door the correct way and everything lined up perfectly. There was no need to actually cut the frame, is basically what I told him.
So he came to the house looking for payment for the equipment that he bought and for the work that he did. And you said all you had to do was turn around. I'll pay you $20 for the rollers because you did, in fact, use the rollers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So he came to the door and he asked for the money. You told him, I'll pay you for the rollers. That's all I'm paying you for. And you say it's before he actually came to the door that he keyed your car, not afterwards.
Yes, I'm assuming that he had
Don't
heard...
assume. Don't assume.
Okay.
Just a second. Do not assume anything. Just the facts as you saw them, heard them, smelled them, tasted them. He came to the door.
He came to the door.
But according to the surveillance that you're going to show me,
yes,
he keyed your car first.
Yes.
And that was on November 17th at 7:57 p.m.
Correct.
I'd like to see... Just a second. Sir, you acknowledge that you went to the plaintiff's home to ask for your money on November 17th on...
Absolutely. I had no motivation to do anything bad because I thought I was going there to get my money.
Just a second. Just a second. You acknowledge that you went to the plaintiff's house between 7:30 and 8 o'clock on November 17th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Question. The answer is yes. Okay. And were you aware that the plaintiff had surveillance cameras?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll see the footage.
Yes,
Is that you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, of course it's you. Now let's play that again. Start from the beginning. It's coming out of...
You can hear it so bad.
Yeah. Putting it away, coming in. Well, sir, what do you think that I think that you did to her car?
I did absolutely nothing to her car. If you look at me walking up to the door, my left hand is in my pocket.
Yeah.
No, sir, it is not. You put your... Don't let... If you think this is funny, I'll let you take it to a court where you think it's funny. Maybe somebody else thinks it's funny. I don't think it's funny.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Because Kim avoided me, another week went by. What reason would I have? Just pay attention. You're not as smart.
Kimberly Page is accusing neighbor Daniel Bazugaloff of damaging her sliding door and vandalizing her car. Daniel is countersuing for materials and labor costs.
Okay, you walked out of your house. You live across the street, is that right?
That is correct, but I actually pulled my Suburban into her driveway that night.
Just a second. I didn't see that, sir. I saw you crossing the street. I heard a screeching sound. Listen to what I heard. I heard a screeching sound and you walking around, putting back into your pocket something, and then walking in the door. I want you to look at it carefully again, sir.
I disagree completely. It's such a tight walk there between the bushes and the car.
Just watch it again.
I'm on the right side of the car, Your Honor, not the left side. I was never on the left side.
Which is where which is where it's keyed, is on the passenger side of the car. He keyed the side, and then he put his hand in his pocket.
Show me where my hand goes into the pocket. It's in the pocket the whole time.
No,
I don't see where it isn't.
I'm going to show you. Play it again. Play it again.
Pause it wherever that's the case.
Play it again. Play it again.
My hand's in my pocket, though.
Right there. No, you just put it in your pocket, sir. You
Back
just
it up,
put
and I'll put it on pause, Your Honor. You can see my hand's in the pocket.
Put it. No.
I should be able to do that.
You just put it in your pocket.
That's not true.
What I'm telling you is I saw you put it in your pocket. You want to watch it again?
Can someone freeze it when?
Let's go.
Freeze. Okay, where's my hand?
Yes.
Put it in your pocket.
You're putting it in your pocket. Now keep walking. And then you put it all the way in your pocket. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. By the time you get past this pillar, it's all the way in your pocket. Now it's all the way in your pocket.
First of all, you can never even see my hand to see whether I scratched the car or not.
May I see the damage to the car, please?
Oh, it's horrible. It's just horrible.
While you do that, may I say something, Your Honor?
No, I'll get to you in a moment. Okay.
That's an extremely long scratch.
It is. It's a very long scratch.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
$1,400 of damage.
Don't answer him.
Sorry.
When did you park?
The 17th. I went to work that day, and I came home, and he came to my home.
When you came home, and there was no damage on your car?
No.
Is that?
Yes. Then the next morning.
When did you notice?
The next morning when I went to go to work. And I gave him the $20.
Did you?
I didn't know that he had keyed my car yet. Or obviously, I wouldn't have paid him anything. But I didn't know that there was any damage until the next morning.
Okay. May I see the estimate to fix the scratch?
Sure.
While she's getting that, may I say something, Your Honor?
No, not yet.
This is dated the 30th of November.
Have you had the car fixed?
No, I have not.
No. Okay, now, sir, now I'm listening.
Okay, first of all, her estimate, she said, was November 30th, and this happened on the 13th or 14th.
No.
She waited a month to...
17th.
If you answer him, I'm going to do you understand? You said sorry. That's the fourth time you said sorry.
Seems highly unusual.
Go ahead.
Seems highly unusual to me that if somebody scratched my car that bad, I knew who did it, what was going on, I would have got an estimate right away on it. I wouldn't have waited a month, almost a month, to get it.
Who cares?
Second of all, I had no motivation to scratch her car. I wasn't angry. I had no problem. I was going to her door thinking I'm collecting money. So there was no reason. Now, if I would have scratched the door on the way out, that would have been different.
Is that what? Just a second. Is that your response to me? See, I said I would listen to your response and then hear it and try to fit it into the facts. Is that your response?
First,
you say, don't speak. Now listen. This is what you swore to in your answer. For the next 2 weeks, I went to their home several times to talk to Kim and work things out. Their cars were in the driveway, but no one answered the door. Because Kim avoided me, I left a request for payment in the mailbox. That included an itemized list of materials and missing tools. And then you say, another week went by, and then you went to her door. What you just said to me, your excuse was, what reason would I have? Just pay attention. You're not as smart.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
By the way, did you make a police report?
I did file a police report, but I didn't have the video at the time. So they said they would press charges.
Don't tell me what somebody else said.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Page says neighbor Daniel Bazugaloff damaged her sliding door while attempting to install it. She also claims Daniel vandalized her car.
Okay, you jumped her a moment ago, and you said, what in the world would I scratch her car for when I was just going over to ask her for payment?
We had previous conversation.
You had been asking her for...
We had previous conversation of that.
I'm speaking. You had been asking her for 3 weeks for payment, and according to your answer, which you swore to, she was avoiding you. And you put notes in her mailbox. And then you let another week go by in the evening, and you went over again. So I'm just answering your question. You asked to speak twice when she was speaking. I just responded to your first answer.
It's a commonality.
What's next? What's next?
Previously.
What's next?
The day previously.
What's next?
The day previously. The day previously, we had talked about the payment, and I went over to get the payment. That's what I did. I had no intentions of malice or anything. I thought I was getting paid, Your Honor.
Good. By the way, did you make a police report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
I did file a police report. The first time, it was just over the phone. They didn't come out. The second time, I did have them come out, but I didn't have the video at the time. So they said they would press charges, but I
Don't tell me. Don't tell me what.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't tell me what somebody else said. The answer is,
okay, yes.
According to you,
yes.
You called.
I called the day that I saw the scratches, which is the 18th. And I have it on my calendar.
Okay. And on what? Just answer my questions, would you please? Okay. Taking far longer than it has to. Did you file a claim with your insurance company?
I did, and they had me get an estimate.
No, look up. And what's your deductible?
My deductible is $300.
Okay, so that they will, I assume, be sending you a check for the $1,400 estimate less your $300 deductible.
Correct. If I file, yes,
right.
They put a hold on the claim until I told them to, yes, go ahead and go through with it. Yes.
I don't, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, what you do in November is you file a claim with the insurance company, and if you have a $300 deductible, they should have come out and looked at your car and sent you a check. And then you sue him for the rest. He's absolutely responsible. You're not going to get paid twice.
Right. That's why I haven't had it fixed yet, because I was waiting to go to court because I didn't want.
Well, you were going to court to sue him for the...
But, I mean, yeah, basically. I mean, I don't know how all this works. This is all new to me.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. I assume you're going to submit this to your insurance company. We're done. Thank you very much. The case is over.
Your Honor, I do
We're done.
I do have a counterclaim.
It's dismissed. You vandalized her car. It's dismissed. We're done. You vandalized her car.
I did not.
Goodbye.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy, the problem.
Paint splatter on both of your cars. You acknowledge that you were spray painting the fence. Look at me. I'm not liking the smile.
Judge Judy.
The frame was so bad, it needed to be replaced.
The fact that I came home and my door frame was cut.
She had actually looked at the door that I did at my house, liked it, and said, well, could you do the door at my house?
I wish I never had him.
I didn't scratch the car.
I definitely know he did damage to the car.
You're in the sneaker collection business.
He spent hundreds for a high-style pair.
We both agreed for $550.
Did you have them authenticated?
I did not have them authenticated.
But he didn't watch his step.
You claimed they were fakes.
We did a UV light test, which is an indicator of them not being authentic.
Sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're a bug.
This is Judge Judy. 20-year-old Leonardo Franco and his brother Alonzo are suing Ryan Padilla for allegedly defrauding them regarding the sale of tennis shoes.
Judges, case number 161 on the calendar in the matter of Franco versus Padilla. Parties have been sworn in. Have a seat, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bird. Mr. Franco, you and your brother are collectors of rare sneakers. And I've been doing this a long time. This is probably the second or third case that I've heard of people who collect these unusual sneakers. Just for my own information, I don't think I've asked before. What makes these rare sneakers?
Well, what makes them exclusive is basically because of the low amount of stock that's in them. See, Jordan and Off-White had a collaboration, so a lot of people, well, they admire both of those brands.
Jordan and Off-White, are those two brands?
Yeah, they're two different brands. Off-White being a designer brand, Jordan being, well, the Jordan, you know, the Jordan shoes. So they have a collaboration, and they release little pictures and what they call it, they hype it up, which is basically just a lot of people wanting these shoes, and the fact that they come out with such little quantity and such mass of want for them. It just drives
advertising.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay. How long have you been a sneaker collector?
Well, me personally, only really just a year. My little brother's actually the one that got me into it. He's been the one that's just been around sneakers basically all his life.
Okay. So, Mr. Franco, how long have you been a sneaker buff?
I've been into sneakers for about, I would say, 8 years. My older brother, he would also collect sneakers, and being around that environment made me enjoy them, and I've just been following them ever since.
How long have you been purchasing them?
Since I was younger, I've never had money to buy my own, but lately I have been able to afford my own sneakers.
So for the past year. And in the past year, how many pairs of sneakers have you purchased on your own?
I would say about 20.
When you've purchased 20 pairs of sneakers, what have you done with them?
Just collect them. You don't want to wear them too much every day.
So you keep them?
Yeah. You pick selected days when you want to wear them because, for example, you don't want to ruin them. So it's very rare when you wear them. But yeah, for the most part, it's just kind of collecting them, wearing them every now and then.
How do you earn the money to buy them?
I sometimes buy it. So if I don't particularly like it, or if it's not in my size, I sell it to people, obviously for more than retail because of the hype. So many people want it. And then from there, the money that I collect, I can pick and choose which ones I want to buy.
So you do, in fact, sell some of the sneakers that you buy?
Yes.
So you're in the process of buying and selling?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you sell them, how do you sell them? Do you put ads online?
Yeah, you can do it many ways. There's third-party sellers that they take fees as well, but you can also try to sell them yourself and post them up yourself.
Okay. Alonzo, let's stop for a moment. You buy a pair of sneakers.
Yes.
Very fancy fuchsia green sneakers.
Yes.
And it's not your size, but they're unusual. You pay $500 for them.
That's for
resale. You
resale.
decide to sell them, and you want to go to a third party. How do you get this third party?
You post it up on their site, so you send them to the third party, and then from there, they authenticate it and legit check it. Once it's been authenticated, they send it to the person who has bought it.
Okay, so the third party buys the $500 sneakers from you. They authenticate it. If they don't authenticate it, can they send it back to you?
Yes, that is right.
Now, when you sell it to the third party buyer, how much do they pay you for it?
Every shoe.
$100, not your size. Very, very funny shade of green. How much would they pay you for it?
Well, for retail, this shoe retailed around $220. $500.
Not retail. I'm asking you what the third party buyer would give you for it.
Around $500.
So the same thing that you bought it?
Well, these weren't to buy to keep.
Alonzo, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying to you. I want you to take the sneakers that are on the table and put them on the floor. Take the sneakers that are on the table, put them on the floor so we don't get confused. Now we're not confused. Now we're talking about a pair of ugly green sneakers that are not your size, and you sell them to a third party. You purchase them for $500. How much does a third party broker pay you for the sneakers that you've paid $500 for?
Around the same.
Not about. You can't sell them for the same price that you paid for them. You don't make any money if you do that. Don't you understand that?
Yes.
Is it all right if I step in and help him out? Because I feel like he's just a little confused. Basically, so let's just say
unconfuse us. You pay $500 for ugly green sneakers. You want to sell them to Phil. You put an ad on whatever site you sneaker people go on, okay? And what do you sell for $500?
When you sell through StockX, you don't sell to a specific person. You kind of just put up an offer saying, hey, I'm willing to sell it for this much, while someone else is saying, okay, but I'm willing to only spend this much. So you can either keep your ad up for your price, or you can just accept the bid. It always fluctuates. It's never going to be the same, basically.
Yeah, all right. It's very confusing to me in business. Who's this third party? What does this third party do?
When, let's say, I sell a shoe, I send it to them, and all they're doing is making sure that the shoes that I sold them are in fact real, authentic, and they're not fakes. And once they've authenticated,
and how much do they get for doing that?
They get 8%.
So you buy a pair of shoes online, you buy them for $500, you pay somebody 8% to authenticate them, and once you get them authenticated, you put up a bidding process and you say, all right, I have these sneakers, I want $900 for them. At the appropriate time, or I want $800, and then somebody says, I'll give you $8. Is that what happens?
Yeah, exactly.
And when you put up the ad, do you put up in the ad that they've been authenticated?
Everything on that you sell through them has to be authenticated. They don't sell anything fake.
So they actually, for 8%, sell the sneakers?
Yeah, they're basically selling, or sorry, they are selling it for us.
Okay, so you send 8% off the top of the price that they get for the sneakers. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you sell your sneakers that you buy by sending them to a company whose business it is to authenticate sneakers, and then they sell your sneakers and say to you, I got this bid or I got that bid, do you want to take it or not? Is that correct?
We control how much we want to sell it for. So, for example, if I were to have a pair of Jordans and I just go on their website and say, okay, I want to sell it for $280, someone buys it, okay, now I send it out, then they authenticate it. Once it's authenticated, they ship it to the person.
Oh, I understand. All right, this is the case. You bought a pair of sneakers from the defendant and claimed they were fakes. That's the case, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now that I know how you run your part of the business, because you're also in buying and selling, tell me how you found this pair of sneakers.
So we found this on OfferUp, which is just a place where you can also buy and sell, but that's more private seller. There's no middleman or anything. You just meet up with them and you either buy it or sell it.
Just a second. So you bought through
OfferUp.
That was private and no middleman to authenticate. And when did you see the ad?
We saw it on November 8th, right here.
I'd like to take a look at it.
So that's just the main screen. I don't know if you'd like me to just swap the papers to see all the pictures.
No, I would just like you to show me the ad that you saw that drew you to the sneakers.
It's this one right here.
Jordan 5 Off-White, size 11, Rialto, posted one day ago. Ryan. Who's Ryan?
That's me.
And when did you go to see the sneakers?
Yeah, I texted him, and we both agreed for $550. He sent us his address, and we just went over. We will try to authenticate it ourselves.
Just one second. Just a second. You and your brother went over to Ryan's house.
Yes.
And he showed you the sneakers.
Yes.
Did you ask any questions?
Well, we did, like, stuff, but it was more of, like, chit-chat. We didn't really ask him much about the sneakers itself.
So you just looked at the sneakers. You had agreed on a price of $550, and you paid him the $550.
Yes.
Did you get a receipt?
At the time, no. But once we arrived home...
That's what I asked you. At the time, you gave him the $550 and took the sneakers.
Right.
The deal was concluded.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went home on the same date, November.
At that point, we noticed that he had a receipt in the picture, but it wasn't in the box. So we texted him saying...
Okay, let's put on the picture again, please. Okay. Now, that's what you bought. You bought the sneakers. And show me the receipt.
Okay.
Point to the receipt.
Basically, you can see it's like right here, but I do have another picture that shows it just shows the picture. I don't know if you want to pull that up.
No. You're talking about that little piece of paper over there on the side of a box?
Yeah.
Point it exactly with your finger. That's a box.
Yeah, it's the box right here.
You're talking about that little piece of...
Yeah. That right there is the receipt.
What's the receipt?
That white, I guess, thing you see next to the box.
Right, that little piece of white paper.
Yes.
Okay, so now you go home
And what happened?
So I texted him to ask him for the receipt, and he just wasn't responding. So we started getting a little, I guess, worried at that point. We're like, okay, let me do a black light test, because we did have a UV light test. So once we brought the UV light out, shined it on the shoes, it started glowing. Basically, the stitching on the shoe started glowing, which is an indicator of them not being authentic, because they're not supposed to be glowing.
Let me ask you this question. How big is this blue light?
Oh,
this light?
It's a flashlight, this one.
Oh, that you could take with you to the defendant's house, and you didn't.
Yeah, it was my fault, because I just simply forgot it.
But we're just putting together the story.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The only way that you have any possible way of winning this case is to show me that he found out they were fakes.
Does it matter if he himself said that they were real?
Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Don't tell me it doesn't matter.
Closed captioning is provided by Leonardo Franco and his brother Alonzo claim Ryan Padilla sold them an allegedly counterfeit pair of tennis shoes.
So far, you're in the sneaker collection business, you and your brother, for a long time. You both buy and sell sneakers, and you keep some that you like very much. In this case, you did not go through a third party. You went to a private party with sneakers that had not been authenticated. You went, you saw the sneakers, you looked them over, you took the sneakers, and then went home. And then on the sneakers and said, oh, this is not the right color stitching. It's an indication that they're fake. So you called him.
Yeah, I texted him.
And what happened?
At first, I just texted him for the receipt. He just left me on red, like he didn't respond at all. So then that's when we decided to take it to actual authenticators, just to get 100% knowing that these are fake, which are my witnesses here. We took it to their store. They saw the shoes and just pointing out many different reasons as to why they were fake. And at that point, we text them and say, hey, if you don't give us our money back, we're just going to be forced to sue you. And at that point is when he told us that whatever we did in the 24-hour period of us having the shoes is up to us. What he sold us were real shoes, and basically, that's that.
I'm going to hear what he has to say.
Right.
But he's right. That's that. Okay, now we're up to you. Where did you buy the sneakers from?
I bought them off the same site, OfferUp.
When did you buy them?
A few days before. I have the receipt, how much I paid for them, if you want to look at that.
I do.
I paid $400 for them on November 9th.
Well, that just shows a withdrawal.
Yeah, it was a withdrawal for the shoes.
Well, what you're telling me is you bought them a couple of days before.
Yeah.
Not yeah. This is a court. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
You want to say yes,
Yes, Your
twice,
Honor.
you can say yes. Perfect. Even better. Even more perfect.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I am taking for granted that these sneakers may not be authentic. You had the possibility of authenticating them. You chose not to do that. You completed the sale. So sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're a bug.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Leonardo Franco and his brother Alonzo are accusing Ryan Padilla of selling them an allegedly counterfeit pair of tennis shoes.
How long have you been in this sneaker selling business?
About 6 months.
Do you know about this third-party authenticator?
Yeah, I also purchased through Go and StockX.
Great. These sneakers in question, did you buy them through a private person or through an authenticator?
Through a private person, Your Honor.
Okay, and the name of this private person?
It was Jay.
And did you go to Jay's house?
Yes, similar to what they did.
Okay, and you paid him $400 for the sneakers?
Correct.
Did you have them authenticated?
I did not have them authenticated.
Did you have a blue light?
Yes, that's what I was going to say earlier. I had a blue light at the house, and I actually let them use it on the shoes, so...
Nope, he did not.
Did you take the blue light when you brought it to Jay's house?
Yes, I did.
Did you use the blue light at Jay's house?
Yes, I did.
And you still gave Jay the $400?
Yes, I did.
Were these shoes in your size?
No, they weren't.
So you were buying them to resell?
Yes.
When you put them on for sale for $600 and you settled, so that means you made a quick $150.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfectly fine, entrepreneurial way to do business. Let's go back to you. The only way that you can be successful, Mr. Franco, in my judgment, which is the only one that counts here, is if you had evidence that he knew, and the only way he could know was taking them to an authenticator who advised him that they were fake sneakers. Your contract with him was concluded when you went to his house. You were certainly not restricted in any way from inspecting the shoes. The ad for the shoes did not indicate that they had been authenticated by any company. That says...
That doesn't matter if he himself said that they were real?
Don't tell me it doesn't matter. That's called a naive buyer. You both buy and sell sneakers in a very sophisticated fashion in order to make side money, which is exactly what the defendant does. This is a strictly contract sale. You went, you saw them, you actually had the capacity to take your flashlight with you and shine the light on, which might have given you a clue that, I'm not sure these are real. I'm going to have to take them to an authenticator. You could have done that, but you didn't. You took them home. You negotiated a price. You went and saw them. You said, I like them. You took them home. You gave them the money. Contract is finished. Now, the only way that you can demonstrate to me that you have any possible way of winning this case is to show me that between the time he says he bought them and the time he sold them to you, he found out they were fakes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, the only way that you can, I'm going to say it again, possible way of winning this case is to show me that between the time he says he bought them and the time he sold them to you, he found out they were fakes.
Well, the only way
and you can't do that. Your contract is concluded. I don't need to speak to an expert. I am taking for granted that these sneakers may not be authentic. That's your problem. You had the possibility of authenticating them. You chose not to do that. You completed the sale. So sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're a bug. Today you were the bug. Next time you'll be smarter. Your case is dismissed. We're finished.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. This case is concluded.
And on the next Judge Judy.
The pet that you decided on was a tortoise.
We took her to the vet. That's when they told us that she had pneumonia and she was too far gone.
Do you remember any of the tortoises getting sick?
Judge Judy.
I invited them to my house, so they're comfortable with coming over and authenticating the shoes.
I'm not a shoe authenticator, you know. I'm just a normal guy just trying to buy some shoes that I like.
I let them spend as much time with checking out the shoes as possible, too, and they were there for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were legit, but I mean, when we did the test, like...
Side of the mantle for them if they wanted to use it, so...
Basically, if you were to shine your a black light onto a shoes, the stitching on the shoe